I used to absolutely drown in uni stress. I'm talking those every single week, having a mental breakdown, feeling like a failure, and just wanting to curl up and just quit and stop it all. But on the other hand, I also went through breakups, burnout, and loneliness, but felt calm and centered throughout every single one. When going through uni, I experienced so much stress and overwhelm that absolutely shook me to my core. And I did not know how to handle it and keep going throughout every semester, especially when finals started to creep up, which I know that you guys are experiencing now. But, when I went through heartbreaks and extreme sadness and loneliness and strong arguments with my parents, those are things that, would normally shake a person to their core and absolutely break a person. But I have remained calm and centered throughout those events. So this video is about implementing what I have learned through those other events and implementing that into my uni life and sharing those tips with you guys for you to also implement them too in uni, but also in your personal life too. Welcome to the channel where all videos are about inspirational and motivational things to help change your ways of life and get you to become the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Amelia Grace, and today we're diving deep into how you can remain calm and centered throughout your uni experience. Now, these are the topics in today's video, so make sure if there is one that really piques your interest, go and skip to that one and then come back and watch the rest for a very in-depth understanding of the topic. I want to say thank you to everybody who does all of the support through the liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and saving, because yes, you're not only just helping me grow this channel, but you're also helping that video get pushed out into the algorithm so that more uni students just like you can go and watch it and have an understanding and get better at being calm and centered throughout the uni semester. You are improving their lives. You are making them their best version of themselves by supporting that video and pushing it to the algorithm. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, on this channel, I've said this a few times, all of the advice that I give is based on my personal experiences and based on experiences from my family and my friends. These people are real life people going through the same problems of every week's video. I talk to them about it and they give me very broad perspectives. And I think that that's far more valuable to give you guys puzzle pieces of lots of people's different experiences and advice to piece into this big image of the topic and how we can solve it together, versus one piece of advice that one person says will work for everybody. I just don't think that that actually really helps us, because we're all so different. We all learn differently and have slightly different experiences to the same problem. So that is why in today's video, I have spoken to my parents' mum and dad, Terry and Jason, about how they stay calm through any storm that life throws at them. Now, parents being parents have gone through many things. My parents have gone through marriage, having kids, obviously, university, and their own personal dilemmas as they grew up. And I think my parents are pretty good people to talk about for this issue because they contrast each other so beautifully, in my opinion. My mom is very spiritual and has that very bigger picture of life image because she can see all of it. Where my dad, on the other hand, is very analytical. It's this way or the highway kind of perspective. So when I asked my mom this question, she said that a lot of people hold stress and overwhelm through pushing it down and bottling it in. And that stress creates tension within their body. They feel like this, and the pressure of the world and life just feels like this, so tight and so restrictive. She said that that tension gets stored in your jaw, your neck, your head. You get headaches, all of the joints. You just feel so stiff and so weighted. That is the implication of holding in your stress. She said other people talk about it. Some people react emotionally through stress. Some people do it logically. Her experience is doing a combination of these. But she also said to me that when she goes through storms in life, just because she can see the bigger picture of life and her life in general, it makes it easier to bear those things. but it doesn't take away the pain. My dad, on the other hand, I gave him a call. I was like, Appa, what do you do to stay calm through every storm? Because he's always so calm around the house. And he goes, well, I'll use this analogy. When you're skiing, you don't think, don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree, because you're going to hit the tree. That's all you can think about. That is all where your energy is going. He said, what you think about is getting to your destination, which is the bottom of the mountain. And you will do everything in your power to avoid hitting things and to go a certain route to get to where you want to be, because that is where your attention is on. That is where all of your energy and efforts are directed. You need to do literally everything in your power to make sure that at the end of the day, you and your situation are going to be just fine. That means paying attention to what you are eating, sleeping when you are meant to be sleeping, hanging around the right kinds of people who motivate and push you to get you where you want to be. Because, babes, you are the average of the 5 people and 5 things that you spend your time around and doing. So take a good reflection and go, are these people and things benefiting me in the right way? That was a little side quest, by the way. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. Because what I've learned is that if you, it's the moment that you buy into that stress and overwhelm emotionally and you react emotionally, you are giving yourself over to that situation. You are losing all of your power to that stress and that overwhelm from your own inaction. Steve Jobs actually says that stress is caused from your own inaction, and I will put up the video.
Stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over. Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You can be working incredibly hard and loving it, and likewise, you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring. I think in large part.
On what Dad said about beelining it to where you need to be, I found it very, very interesting and very liberating how, yes, we overthink and overcomplicate our plate and think, right, today I've got to do this, and this, and this. And if I don't get this done, then I'll be behind in this, and this, and this. It is making you feel so much more stress. I know for a goddamn fact I do this quite frequently in a lot of things to do with uni. But the harsh reality is we're not living 5 hours in the future after we've made dinner and sitting back down to do the assignment that we have been putting off. We can't bog ourselves down, create that tension and that stress and that overwhelm and feeling like you're behind and like you're a failure because you're not even in that reality. Think about that. You aren't even there. You're not even 5 hours in the future. Honey, you are driving a car to university right now. Is that you can't even do the assignment right now. You are in that exact moment. So only think about what you can do in that moment. That's what I always say to myself as I'm falling asleep and feeling stress. I'm like, okay, can I do anything about it right now if I'm meant to release a video tomorrow and I'm on 4 hours of sleep the day prior? No, I can't. I have to prioritize my sleep. So just let it go, breathe, pause for a moment, and just click on that reality. The stress that you're experiencing in uni at the moment is always in your life. And if you think that it's just going to go away and you're not going to experience it anymore, you're dead wrong. We have always gone through these kind of overwhelming events, no matter how old we were, or if it was in the playground when we were young and somebody was in our spot on the swing or whatever and they weren't getting off. Or when it was in high school and going through those exams, or that whole he said, she said bullshit. Or if it's in uni and it's these exams and balancing your own life. The stress gets hard, but you get better at dealing with it. I really love this reminder and I want to share it with you guys because I think it's really relevant. Being a CEO is really hard, but also being broke and working for somebody else is hard. Being a university student is so goddamn tricky, but so is being unemployed because they didn't apply themselves and get that degree. Every rich person says this over and over in their heads whenever they are feeling resistance to something. Choose your hard. Choose which one you would rather live your entire life with. because that is the reality of life. But it all depends on how hungry you are for your own dream to just push through those stressful moments with ease and grace, because it is possible. It is possible. So I just bought myself a new iPad, and because I'm currently filming on my phone, there's been a whole mix up with my camera. So anyways, I was going to share the notes on my phone, but we've got it on my massive ass TV thing that we've got here. I read a book on the UQ library, actually, really weirdly, about the majesty of calmness. And what William George says in his book is that calmness is a moral atmosphere of a life self-centered, self-reliant, and self-controlled. I want to show you. It's massive, absolutely massive. This calmness is a singleness of purpose, absolute confidence, and conscious power, ready to be focused in an instant to meet any crisis. This is the calming section of the YouTube video where I'm going to read you a little bit of a book, okay? So just sit back and get really comfy. Love you guys. When you feel your body is tensing up, your world feeling like if someone bumps you, everything is going to come undone, rest for a moment and let calmness and peace assert themselves. If you let these irritating outside influences get the better of you, you are confessing your inferiority to them. I said that before. By permitting them to dominate you. Study the disturbing elements, each by itself, bring all the willpower of your nature to bear upon them, and you will find that they will, one by one, melt into nothingness, like vapors fading before the sun. I wanted to remind you nothing great or grand ever comes easy, because if it did, everyone would have it. That was my little side note. Everything that is great in life is the product of slow growth. The newer, the greater, the higher and nobler the work, the slower its growth, the surer is its lasting success. Mushrooms attain their full power at night. Oaks require decades. A fad lives in a few weeks. A philosophy lives through generations and centuries. If you are sure you are right, do not let the voice of the world, or friends, or family swerve you for a moment from your purpose. Accept slow growth if it must be slow, and know the results must come, as you would accept the long, lonely hours of the night, with absolute assurance that the heavy, leaded moments must bring the morning. Let us cultivate calmness, restfulness, poise, sweetness, doing our best, bearing all the things as bravely as we can, living our life undisturbed by prosperity of the wicked or the malice of the envious. Let us not be impatient, chafing at delay, fretting over failure, wary over results, and weakening under opposition. Let us turn our face toward the future with confidence and trust, with the calmness of a life in harmony with itself, true to its ideals and slowly and constantly progressing toward their realization. It oftentimes requires heroic courage to face fruitless effort, to take up the broken strands of a life work, to look bravely toward the future and proceed undaunted on our way. But what to our eyes may seem hopeless failure is often but the dawning of greater success. Many of our failures sweep us to greater heights of success than we ever hoped for in our wildest dreams. So here is the plan on what we are going to do together. Now, quick side quest. I will be putting all of the tips into a PDF file that is free to download for you guys to have in your notes app or in a gallery so that you can always go back to it whenever you need a refresher. It is always going to be there for you. And on top of that, I'm thinking I'm gonna add some key quotes and reminders anyways, just to always have them there and guide you through this journey together. Now, I know a big question is how the fuck are we going to implement this mentality into such a stressful time? And the first thing is that we are going to simplify the plate. Now, this is the actionable step. You are going to write down every single thing. I'm talking everything, like full on paragraph and pages of things that you know you do that are destructive to you staying focused and locked in. I've got my big ass iPad here again. I'm just going to bring it closely. I'm not going to lift it up because it's so fucking heavy. I know what causes me unnecessary stress that is within my own control is wasting time faffing around getting food and coffee at uni, walking around for an hour listening to music at campus, being on my phone for another 30 minutes after I post what I needed to, texting people when I should not be, having notifications showing, saying in the slow lane when driving, because I get too scared to merge and then I end up wasting like an hour in total in travel, listening to music when I study, having my AirPods in for a full day, I get very disassociated, spending excess time with friends when I know I should be studying and locked in, quitting the studying session when it gets hard and when I say that's enough for today. I know that each of these, when they compound, it really affects the end of the week, because I look back and I go, I could have done so much more and tried so much harder. But I let all of these distractions get in my way. And that's what causes me a lot of my stress and overwhelm and gets me out of balance and not calm and centered. As per what Jordan said about how calmness is a life lived, self-centered, self-reliant, and self-controlled, I've made a list on my iPad again. I'm going to read off it just because it's like very listy. I have made a list. I love my list, guys, of things that you can do under each subtopic of how you can live a life more live a life more calm and centered. Okay, so we've got self-centeredness. You're going to prioritize your needs, set boundaries, self-reflection, and don't compare yourself to others. So prioritizing your needs, that is identifying what you, not what society wants you to, or your parents or your friends, but what your own goals, interests, hobbies, and needs are, and how you can go and meet them. Setting the boundaries, it also means saying no to hangouts that break those boundaries. If you go, I have to get this assignment done because a core goal of mine is to always try my best in academic things, then hanging out with friends on a night that you should be finishing that assignment goes against your own core values and breaks your own boundaries. So that is prioritizing your needs and saying no. Self-reflection is taking the time to understand your values and your own motivations. And don't comparing yourself means that you cannot compare your day 0 to someone's day 100. You are not behind in life just because you are not where somebody else is. They have gone through different experiences, have already started before you, and are a completely different person. So it is just idiotic to think that you can be compared to them because you are not even the same. You can't compare an apple and an orange and expect them to both be an apple. It just doesn't work like that. Number 2, self-reliance. I'm actually in this boat at the moment too, so we are going to be doing this one together. This is accepting yourself, developing inner confidence and building your confidence, assuming responsibility and learning new skills. So accepting yourself is accepting everything about you. You are the only person who experienced all of your life in its entirety. There is not one person who has been there for every single bit of it. So they don't see every part of you the way that you do. You hold on to all of those images and versions of yourself, and whether that be a good or bad image of yourself, you hold on to that. Accepting that as you is okay. And that is actually a really great skill to have. But it also means that you acknowledge the parts where you can improve on and do so. Confidence comes from acting on your own goals and celebrating your achievements. Because the more that you do this, the more confidence you have in yourself, in your ability to do something and make your own decisions. Taking charge in your life comes from assuming responsibility. This is taking charge of your finances, your actions, and whether or not you are following in the footsteps of the dream version of yourself. And learning new skills allows you to have that knowledge and ability to do new things to support yourself. And thirdly, I got my fingers right. Guys, this is a first. Thirdly, self-control. So we've got here managing your emotions, rewarding yourself, creating a sleep schedule, practice delayed gratification, and distracting yourself. Managing your emotions comes from mindfulness and meditation. What I like to do is find 5 to 10 minutes every morning and night to do a gratitude and mindfulness meditation. Rewarding yourself, no matter how small the achievement is, you made an achievement. You stepped another step forward into your dream version of your life. reward yourself for that. That's a big achievement because that also creates so much more momentum and motivation to keep going when it's hard. Creating a sleep schedule allows you to effectively regulate your own emotions because your brain is relaxed, it's reset. Practicing delayed gratification allows you to gain more control of your own actions and say, when you are procrastinating something, no, we're not going to go on our phone. We're going to get up and we're going to go do the hard thing. And distracting yourself. When you are in those stressful situations that overwhelm you, pause for a moment and maybe go up, have a little break, and do something that makes you feel happy. Now, if this video helped you even a little, I know that it did, and sparked something in you, imagine what you could do and achieve if you keep going. Make sure to subscribe for tools on how you can become your most inspiring and motivational self. And follow me over on Instagram for a very personal connection where I show you the ups and downs of what it's like in my life as a YouTuber. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you in next week's video. Mwah!